What's good, Liberators? Fingers here, it's Dx2 Demon Review, and since they're back on the menu for the next couple of weeks, I think it's finally time to talk about the sisters, Moirae. So, let's get on it with the Femme, Clotho, one of the three Moirae sisters in Greek lore. She spins the threads of fate. It is said that one's fate is determined by the color and thickness of this thread. That's what she said. No. And that she is the one who decides a person's birth. She also deceived Typhon into eating the ephemeral fruit on Nysa to help the gods secure their victory. So we're starting off with Clotho here because in the order of the sisters, she's the one who comes first. She decides the birth, and then the next one decides your destiny, and finally the last one snips the cord, and that's the end of you. Very thematic, and it's also quite thematic, which is something I really like, in their agility. As Clotho here, being the first, has 100 agility, naturally. We go over to Lachesis, 92, and finally Atropos, 82. So they do in fact act in order of their mythological counterparts, and I just thought that was really cool, and one reason I would strongly suggest not messing with their agility at all, because it works very well that they operate in this specific manner, as you will see at the conclusion of this trilogy. So in the meantime, I dumped Mimi Thomas into magic and vitality. Strong options there. And I dumped the last 10 into luck because there's really nowhere else to put it. And if you have unpaneled sisters, luck is a perfectly fine way to go. If you have paneled sisters, if you have each of them to panel 2, you don't need luck at all. Though with her it does help a little bit, as she does have some ailment infliction abilities. She nulls light and nulls darkness, which, as we know in 2022, is completely useless. And my Clotho here is unpaneled, but as you can see, specifically going for HP percentage in the hands and feet with life brands, I was able to get her HP to a respectable 3,200 unpaneled. So not bad for baseline. It's workable in that regard. As for the skills, the transferable recovery amp plus 25% to healing skill effectiveness speaks for itself. Moving on to her unique skill, passionate allure, plus 10% to healing skill effectiveness, nice pile on there, and activates the following chain effect at the end of enemy's turn. Remember, these girls are slow rollers. Alright? If you're running them in PvP, they're going second, ideally speaking. So at the end of the enemy's turn, starting off, she knocks this one out, making their second wave of attacks somewhat difficult, assuming they survive. But this chain effect only pops off if there are 3 or more surviving femme/lady demons in the party. Specifically, she is built to roll with her sisters, but Ji Wang Mu can also fit this bill, and there are others. Basically, most of the female demons fall under the femme or lady category. Well, you can get the Megami category, but you know what they are. You can look into them. Ji Wang Mu is probably the most prevalent among them. And if I'm not mistaken, Maria is... I gotta check this out, because Maria's too prevalent to ignore this. Lady Maria, what are you? She is a Megami. Okay, so Lady Maria is out. She is out of the running. So make a note of that. But Ji Wang Mu is a lady, if memory serves, so be aware of that. Now, If you have it at the end of the enemy's turn where there are 3 or more femme ladies surviving in your party, she will inflict a 50% chance of charm and poison on all enemies after removing barriers from all enemies. So I hope you brought someone who can wipe those away, or your ailment resistance is strong. Funnily enough, if you brought Maria, you should be good because Maria is completely immune to all ailments. So there you go, full circle with that. And for her second unique skill, the Woven Fate, you can use this up to 6 times, heals all party members with a power of 75, then revives an ally at random with 50% HP. And if you level this up, the healing skill is boosted by 10%, the MP cost is -1, bringing it down to the affordable cost of 5 MP. And if you are rolling second in PvP, as you should be, that means you can pop this off twice in a row before she has to pass, meaning you can go for life brands instead of divine brands, which she will desperately need, especially in this world of Astaroths and heavy-hitting physical badasses like that. As for her archetype skill, I got her in Psychic for Insanity, plus 20% to inflict status ailments. It goes along with her Passionate Allure skill, helping get those charm and poisons on to make your enemy's second wave of attacks as inconvenient to them as humanly possible. And for the transferables, I've got Prayer on her, which I believe I gotcha'd her with. But if you have your sisters, each with panel 1 and 2, they are completely immune to all ailments. So you don't need to bother with this in the slightest. However, all of my sisters are of the basic variety, more or less, and Prayer, it works in her position just to have an ailment cleanser in your Moray sisters lineup, because your 4th slot is probably going to be going to another intimidating stance demon. Dimensional Cert is a fantastic companion to these ladies because you double up on that cheap shot damage with him. But any of the other intimidating stance boys would not be completely out of place. We won't go into all of them here because we've probably already talked about them in past videos. And secondly, I've got Endure on her, but you can give her any of them. Endure, Enduring Soul, Enduring Soul. Plus, she's the healer of the group, so keeping her standing is never a bad idea. But you could also throw on a buff here. Defensive Cry would be pretty darn good in my estimation, though oft times you have auto skills that do that. Hell, throwing on Auto Tarunda or Auto Rakukaja on her or something to that effect would not be too bad. Though Lachesis does buff your attack. I believe she buffs your attack and defense and reduces enemy defense and attack, possibly. I'm not sure. Gonna have to, you know what, I've got to find out right now. What does the Passionate Embrace here do? Reduces all enemies' attack and defense. Okay. Increases own party's attack and defense. Okay. So she's got that covered for the sisters team. So you could give her Auto Tsukakaja or Auto Secunda, for example, and just get the full Monty. Heck, give each of these slots one's Auto Tsukakaja, one's Auto Secunda, and you'll have the full Luster Candy Debilitate combo with just these two girls working together. Something to think about. As for brands, got it with the Life brands and the Guard brands. The biggest thing these girls have to worry about, if they get enough HP, is just heavy-hitting physical attack demons coming in and just train wrecking them. And their agility is absolute trash so evasion is a tough sell in that regard. So you could try. You could try and make those evasion brands work. I mean, even if a demon has low agility and you stack that evasion rate up 100% plus, they can be very slippery. So evasion brands possible, ideal. That's for philosophers to decide. And I got the life brands on there. Can't go wrong there. But you could give her sick brands if you want to help amp up that passionate allure to make her especially charming. As for the panels, panel 1, well, that one with this skill is alive. Femme and lady allies gain null curse. Similarly, panel 2, well, the one with this skill is alive. Femme, lady allies gain null charm. 2 out of the big 6 ailments out there, and these panels are similar to the other 2 sisters, giving them complete immunity to ailments if you have each of them at panel 2, and you're just set it and forget it. Another example of the wonderful synergy these ladies have. And I actually do really like when they release demons that are designed to work together. You know, I think the original was Hellbiker and Zalgongan. They released those 2 demons at the same time, and they were built to be together. In the early days, of course, with panels now, that's kind of changed, but love it. Nurgle and Chernobog, they came out as a dynamic duo. The Angels, the Gacha exclusive Angels, are all designed to work together, though their powers combined are a bit underwhelming, as seen in not seeing an Angels team in PvP in 6 months or so. But I digress. I still like Team Demons, and I hope there are many, many more to come. And for panel 3, plus 20% to inflict status ailments, plus 20% to healing skill effectiveness, piling on her already unique set of skills, and you know already why those would be good on her. Before we wrap it up, check out these other arcs, see what else she can provide you and yours. For the Origami, we got Foresight, almighty magic damage on all enemies, and increases own party's evasion and accuracy by 20%. Interesting. You got Lachesis, giving you the attack and defense buff. With this, not only are you throwing out some magic damage, but you're also buffing your agility and accuracy. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like it. 8 MP, so that's pricey, but she's a slow roller, so presumably you're going second. She will be able to pop this off turn 1. So, hey, that's a little something. That ain't bad. That's not bad at all, but if you're pumping up her magic to make this attack do any damage whatsoever, because unless you've got magic percentage on some of those brands, those are replacing your HP percentage boosts. So that trade-off, it's a tough sell, especially if you're a slow rolling team who needs to survive into that first turn. For the Protector archetype, we get the Mind Blast, almighty magic damage on a single enemy, and reduces MP by 4. This is great in PvP, just because if you know that demon's coming, they're built up, and they got a lot of MP built up, they're going to come smack you with it. Perhaps it's a magic demon, and you just snipe that 4 MP from him, forcing that one heavy-hitting magic demon to do a paltry physical attack that does nothing. So Mind Blast is very, very useful in PvP, especially if you're planning on, if your battles are going to go on for 2 or 3 rounds. You can help crowd control in a big way with this. So Bueno definitely ups her variety, her available skills during the fight, gives her some of that much needed flex, other than her just sitting there just healing over and over and over again. Psychic archetype, Insanity, which we discussed, and the final Elementalist archetype, Drain Light, turns a null into a drain. Ugh. Terrible. Just awful. Elementalist. Do better. You're better than this. Elementalist. You're better than this. And that's all I got today for the first lovely lady of Moiray. The lady who decides when we come into this world and where we will be. Fortunately, we've all been blessed with being around for just the best of times, as many of you are probably seeing today. So, watch yourselves out there, liberators. Remember to have fun and don't get captured.